Good afternoon. This is the Classical Cafe. I'm Katelyn Matson, and we have a green room. I welcome into the green room Alex Underwood, who's the founding artistic director of the Ad Astra Music Festival, which takes place in Western Kansas every summer. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Caitlin.
I'm so grateful you were able to stop by. You are very busy. Is that an understatement? That's an understatement because the festival kicks off this weekend.
It
Uh,
does.
Before we go into any further details about the concerts coming up, can you give us a really brief history of the festival and what year it started and how it was born?
Yeah. So we started in 2014. And so this is our ninth season. And it just started as a concert series. I was home for the summer. I was away at graduate school. And so it was just sort of nice to have something to do. I kind of thought I just needed some artistic projects to create for myself. And I really intended it just to be that year and I would move on and whatever. But the community really enjoyed it and they kept asking if we would, do it again. And so really the festival was born out of that first moment and it's sort of grown and of course ebbed and flowed with the last several years. But we're back really into the mold that we started in, which is several weekends in July.
7 years, 8 years, eight
Nine.
years,
This is
9 years.
ninth season. Yeah,
Oh my goodness,
I
that doesn't
know.
seem possible.
I know.
And I've known of the music festival pretty much since the beginning. Of course, that very first season that you were home as a grad student, I only have heard about that in hindsight, but it's such a beloved festival for Western Kansas. Kansas as a whole, you do get people attending it who don't really live in the area. People come from across the state and beyond to experience the festival. Your audience has grown.
Yes, we are really lucky as we keep doing this, and people, I think we offer, honestly, I think we offer something different than any other organization in Kansas, even in Wichita or Kansas City. Just sort of the programming and the mission is just sort of very different, and so we have been able to attract people from all over, and we hope to keep growing and hope that people come and check us out, check out some unique classical music in Western Kansas.
Okay, so let's get to the unique part. What is happening this opening weekend?
Yeah, so we open on Friday evening, and it's a choir program with three different choirs. So we have our high school honor choir, which are starting rehearsals today, and then our Russell Community Choir, which is really a broader area community choir, but they've been rehearsing once a week for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and then our professional chamber choir, which just arrived or started rehearsals yesterday, and so which in a way is a good illustration of how our festival works, that it's community based, it's education based, and it's also professional artists, and connecting those people in performance projects. This is really the best illustration of what we're doing. That program is about Amelia Earhart, a wonderful Kansas figure, a mysterious Kansas figure, someone worth spending an hour digging into who she is, who she was, who people thought she was.
And I
And
bet
John
people
Irving, my dear friend John Irving, the other artistic directors, created that program, and he did a brilliant job.
and people wouldn't ever assume that there was an hour and a half of music that could be dedicated to the exploration of Amelia Earhart. What
Yes.
sorts of pieces are on the program?
Well, it starts, John has sort of created it where we start with the end of her life, a beautiful song for sopranos and altos called Lost Forever. But then we get into, someone has set the last transmissions of Amelia Earhart. That's the name of it. So her last radio transmissions, and it's in graphic notation. So it's really kind of chaotic and complicated and mysterious. Sometimes the people are turning the pages to the music and their books are even upside down at one point as they're trying to follow along to the score itself. So it
Wow.
really has this mysterious quality to it. And then from there, he's programmed this sort of resurrection of her. And then we go back and explore kind of different parts of her life. And then he ends with I'll Fly Away, the sort of
Yeah.
famous bluegrass song, which is just so beautiful. And he just did a brilliant job with the program. It's been really wonderful coming together.
So that is July, the evening of July the 15th. And then the very next night, on the 16th, you have your annual Jazz at the Barn, and that
We do.
features jazz musicians from the Kansas City area. Is that correct?
That's correct. The lead trumpet player, Brad Dawson, he is a Russell native, which is where our festival is located. And he's on faculty at Fort Hays State University and has been for a long time. But he always invites his buddies from Kansas City, who he gigs with there, to come on out this way instead of him going there. And we just have a beautiful evening outside with cocktails and popcorn. And it's just a lovely, stunning Kansas summer evening. The weather's starting to get nice, as the evening sets in, and it's picturesque and one of the favorites. We've done it many years, and it's a favorite. So,
And then also this weekend, The Fantastics, the musical.
yes, our first ever musical. We keep trying to expand the genres and the types of music that we produce. We're really trying to be more inclusive and expansive in the way that we understand music. And so this is our first musical, and we sold out the first performance really early. So we ended up adding a second one that evening. And even that, the tickets are, I think we have like 3 seats left. So that's been really popular, and I'm playing that. So that's been really fun.
Are you really?
Yes. So that's really great. And we have an amazing cast, and it's great.
All right, really quick, we're going to take a break and listen to some music, but what's the website people can go to for information and tickets?
Absolutely. All information's on our website at www.adastramusicfestival.org.
The closing Amen from Handel's Messiah, which just so happens to be programmed during the Ad Astra Music Festival in July. I'm Katelyn Matson, and this is The Green Room. Alex Underwood is the founding co-artistic director of the Ad Astra Music Festival. His other artistic director is John Irving. And this is the 9th season of the festival. It takes place in Western Kansas in Russell. If anybody has been in that area, you will know that county specifically as being incredibly arts-oriented. Just a gem in the state of Kansas, isn't it?
Yes, between the grassroots arts in Lucas and our own community, which has tons of wonderful artists, visual artists. And then, of course, we include ourselves in that too. And so we're really lucky to be in a community that is so supportive of the work that we do.
Supportive enough that the festival can span 3 weekends in the summers. We were talking earlier about this opening weekend coming up, but there are 2 more weekends of events. Talk to us about the second weekend.
So the second weekend, the Friday night, opens with a recital from one of our most beloved performers at the Ad Astra Music Festival. You might know her. Her name is Katelyn Matson, and so
if we seem familiar, it's because we're friends.
correct. And Katelyn, of course, you did such a beautiful job, and as the centerpiece of the opera that we commissioned last season, which really was a landmark for our festival, the largest project in every way, and such a rewarding one. And so anyway, you did such a wonderful job, and we love having you always. And so thanks for coming up and doing a recital. And I think even a connection from that is you'll be seeing a premiere of a work on that program. So
a world premiere by Rosa Krian, who happened to be a good friend of the composer who composed Our Trudy, the opera that the festival premiered last summer. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a wonderful connection and just a really exciting opportunity.
yeah. So we're lucky to have that on Friday night. And then on Saturday night is this year's opera, which we did not commission, but is pretty new. I think it was written about 10 years ago. It's called Paul's Case. And it's based on a short story of the same name by Willa Cather, the beloved Nebraska author from around the turn of the century. And it's a tragedy, as many operas are. It's hauntingly beautiful. And the music is lush and stunning. And the performers, I sat in on some of their first rehearsals yesterday, and they are incredible. It is going to be, and we have a great director. Their name is Danielle Wright. They work in Detroit at Opera Moto, which is a really interesting sort of up and coming opera company there, and we're really lucky to have them on our staff. And so they're directing that. And then for our final weekend, they'll also semi-stage Handel's Messiah, which the listeners just heard the Amen from. And the singers, there's I think about 12 to 16 singers, and they'll each do step out arias. So usually when you hear Handel's Messiah, there's a big chorus and a big orchestra, and then 4 soloists who each sing the arias. And instead, we have a really pared down orchestra, only one player per part, and then 12 singers, which is just three, three sopranos, three altos, three tenors, three basses, and then they'll each take turns stepping out singing the arias.
And
So it'll look really different.
so your chorus for the Messiah is comprised of professionals, your professional singers who are in for the summer.
Correct. And most of them, well, some of them are singing this opening concert this weekend on Friday, the Amelia Earhart program. They'll also be the opera cast for Paul's Case the second weekend, and then they sing Messiah the third weekend. So it's actually a
Busy.
big. They sing one pretty major thing each week. It's a lot.
It's a lot. And
That's a
so
lot.
they spend their week rehearsing night,
It's
day,
move
morning.
move to Russell for 3 weeks and rehearse and make music, and it's all day every day.
So
So
your professional artists that they are hired in from all around.
yes, we have people from Michigan and New York and just all over the country, who come in for this project and collaborate. We have some Canadians. We have the new harp professor at Florida State University. We really have a wide-ranging group, and that's sort of been the model for the festival for quite a while. Which really, again, you can imagine a small town in Kansas being sort of, 20 really people from all over the country are now eating in your coffee shop or at your restaurant or having drinks at your local bar. It's just it
Or
transforms the
sleeping
community.
in your guest bedroom.
Or sleeping in your guest bedroom, which absolutely happens. And that's, again, just a testament to how supportive the community of Russell is. We could not do this without their amazing generosity in every possible way.
Okay, so the festival ends with the incredible quartet for the end of time. Um, all these venues are different. They have
Yes.
performances all around the area. Tell us about where the quartet for the end of time will be performed.
So this is in a nearby town, Luray, which is maybe 15 to 20 minutes north and a little bit east of Russell. And there's this old stone church that they had in their historical society. They were, what do you do with this place that's in disrepair? The congregation has moved to another church across the street. And so their historical society purchased the church and renovated it. And they invited us up to perform a concert there, and we took them up on it. And so this work by Olivier Messiaen, which was written, it has a really interesting history to it. It was written in a concentration camp during World War II, and was first performed there in that camp. And so, which is just wild. I mean, I don't know how everyone else imagines potentially being in a concentration camp, but I certainly don't imagine it as writing a significant major work and then performing it.
Right.
But that's the history of this piece. And so, and then, of course, Russell has a lot of history of veterans who were prisoners of war too. So we're, of course, working to sort of present those narratives alongside this work in a beautiful space.
You can find all details about the music festival on their website at astramusicfestival.org. They have a very active social media presence, so if you are on Facebook or Instagram, go and check. They even have a TikTok.
We do.
Go and check them out there, and you know consider a trip to Western Kansas for a weekend of wonderful music.
Yes.
Alex, thank you so much for being here and talking about the Ad Astra Music Festival, and have a really wonderful opening weekend.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. Thanks for having me.